Greetings, I'm Rob Chapman. It's been a while, but I'm back, baby. Time to motivate some fam. Coming up in this video will be, rather than the 12 days of Christmas, 12 suggestions on ways to motivate, get out of a stuck rut, push your playing along, break down some of those technique, musical barriers, ways to connect with people. I'm going to talk about shopping for gear. I'm going to show you some guitar licks, all these kinds of things. Just bits and bobs that you might need to break you out of your stagnant situation. Let's get going with number one. For me, playing guitar music, the whole thing really is about connecting with people. And I know this about myself because when I go on tour and I come back, and you always get that little, if you've been on tour, you'll know this feeling, it's very familiar, sort of the tour blues, because you finished and you just sat at home and you've got, you know, regular work and stuff to do, and it's like, oh, I miss being on tour. And the thing that really comes to my mind the most, the memories that were longer lasting, were the memories of the people involved, the friends that I made, the crazy, stupid tour bullshit involving, you know, things that were really funny or stuff that was really enjoyable. Friendship. That's what it is. And I've often said your vibe attracts your tribe. And I think what a lot of people going through difficulty, feeling down about their playing, stuck, not having anywhere to go, a lot of the time it's a lack of connection with your tribe. You need to find that tribe. Sometimes it's not easy to do that if you're just at home or in the office and you're not creating something that would let people know what your vibe is. They got to know what it is. It's like finding a partner, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is. If you just stay at home, you're not going to find one unless you're incredibly lucky and they fall down your chimney with a beard. So I would suggest just on your own making some music. Doesn't matter whether it's a 15-second long, in fact right now that might be a good idea, piece of music, anything that states kind of your musical vibe. It's a really good starting point. And before I was known, and I was looking for musicians, I would give them mixtapes of my riffs. Remember tapes? And I would write Rob's Riffs 1. Probably some people still have these. Like, hey, check this out. I wrote this riff and I really like it. What do you think? Even if they weren't a guitar player. And it would spread around. Your vibe attracts your tribe. Number two, what's the dream? What's your dream? It's so important to define this because a lot of people get pulled away and drift into something else that they thought they wanted, but really other people wanted of them. It might not be your dream to get signed. A guy in a rucksack turns up to a gig and says, you're signed to my label, and Universal slaps you with $1 million that you don't get. That might not be your dream. Define your dream, write it down, make it a solid plan, because if you don't define it, you won't navigate towards it. Number three, sometimes something as simple as just learning a new lick, like a lead phrase, can be all the catalyst that you need to kind of kickstart that wheel of emotion turning and you start to feel connected to the guitar again. And I would highly recommend that you look outside of your chosen genre. For example, if you're into metal, go check out Jerry Douglas, the dobro player, and start taking some of those licks and turn them into rock licks, because you'd be very surprised. There's a massive crossover. The technique is phenomenal in some of these finger-picking dobro players. Before I sat down, I started noodling with arpeggios, and I just came up with a little chord scale of arpeggios. I'll show you right now. Maybe this is something that you might want to learn right now, I don't know, but I'll play it nice and slow for you. I'm in standard tuning for the people. This is my 12th fret inlay marker, and I'm just doing this. Do that one more time. Pick down, pull off. I'm sweeping this, but I'm going down, pull off, up, 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 down, up, hammer, hammer, down, 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 hammer, hammer, pull, pull. Okay, enjoy. Number 4, social media is this incredible, amazing world, but it's really good at locking you in an echo chamber of your own creation and showing you for 8 hours a day. Guitar players 1,000 times better than you or I. And that can be quite demotivational. I think it's important to realise that it will show you what you look for. So yeah, if you hit the magnifying glass, the search icon on Instagram, you'll see what you're searching for sometimes. But I think, look, there are thousands of incredible guitar players. But you know what? I don't listen to Kim Thao from Soundgarden because he's a technical virtuoso. I listen to his music because it fucking moves me. And I think it's really important to just remember that in a sea of people that can play anything, all this amazing technical stuff that I love and is super valid, really the solid take-home should be music. Yeah, if you are making something that moves people, moves yourself, then it's got to be good. And to do that, you don't need to be a virtuoso player. Just a super brief talk about time, because I think a lot of people have an interesting view on time, and I would like to share my view on how I experience time, because I think it has really helped me. So we see time as the straight line, like a timeline on a video editing platform, and we see ourselves in the middle. We see the past over here, or whichever, you know, maybe it's over here for you, and the future is over here. And a lot of the time we spend our time thinking about things that happened in the past, and then we get tired and we get depressed. Sometimes circumstances kind of force you to think about things in the future, and then we end up with anxiety. And what everyone knows really is that you need to spend as much time as possible in the present. And that, of course, is very difficult, because there are things that you can't let go of and there are things that you're worried about. But there are some practical ways you can put yourself in the present. And one of those is, you know, when you have the time, if you have the luxury of time, take yourself away from normality. Sit in a park, in a coffee shop, somewhere that you don't normally go, somewhere different. Bring a hot beverage with you. Bring your phone and start listening to the melodies in your head and hum them into your phone. See if you can build up 100 interesting melodies and create, because the act of creation brings you immediately into the now. And you might find that some of your depression, some of your anxiety, the opacity on it is just a little bit reduced, because you are more present and more here, focusing on creating. I got super depressed once, went to the beach and made sandcastles. It helped. Number 6, defining the dream, all that kind of thing. Just to say, there are lots of other ways to be a part of the entertainment industry that don't involve playing guitar in a band. And I know a lot of people that do these, and they tell me it's incredibly fulfilling. And more often than not, in many ways, slightly more stable. So, for example, I've got friends that do, drum teching for huge bands like Ghost, people that do artist relations for brands, people that do sound engineering, crew, live crew. There's lots of stuff. Or you could, create backing tracks and samples, make sample packs. There's just a million jobs. Go onto any of your AI platforms and type in, hey, give me a list of jobs that I could do in the music industry, and it will reel off thousands of different things that you could do, none of which you'll think you can do until you start thinking about it and then maybe pursuing it in some way and then maybe showing that you can do it. You can't do anything if you don't try. And the one thing I'm fairly certain of is that recorded music will do this and live music will do this over the next sort of 2 to 3 years. So there's going to be, in my opinion, more requirement for people that work in live. So yeah, that's an idea for you. Number 7, have you spent years looking for a singer but you just can't find that vocalist that just makes everything work for you and he's good to get along with or she's great to play with or whatever? Or maybe you can't find a bass player in your town because nobody plays bass. Well, maybe, just maybe, it's the universe's way of telling you you're the singer, whether you like it or not, or you're the bassist, whether you like it or not. And maybe if you were to take up the challenge of learning that skill in the face of all the psychological adversity of people that will tell you that you suck, you might just find that you are dramatically rewarded. This is the experience of many musicians. They begrudgingly take up whatever it is they needed to do. I take a lot of inspiration from my friend Luke. He can play guitar really well. He can play bass to a good standard. He can play drums to a good standard. He can mix, produce, engineer to a world-class level. He's super amazing to work with. He's a giving, caring, loving guy, and he is endlessly employable. And he can play piano to a really good standard. He has so many skills that it's almost impossible for Luke not to be employed somewhere because everyone knows that he can do everything. And I think if I had my time again, I would have learned keys and I would have learned bass. And I think that would have given me much more of a focus on areas that I could have worked into. Instead, I chose vocals. Okay, number 8 is just a little bit of perspective. If you own a guitar and an amp or a guitar and an interface and you've got a job and a place to live, I think you need to be thankful, because you're in the 35% of human beings that have a job and a place to live. And even being able to feel stuck with your guitar playing is a blessing, man, it really is. And the act of feeling thankful will work wonders in your manifestational world. After all, we are just manifestational beings operating a flesh zombie. This is just my biological consciousness transport mechanism. All right, number 9, buying gear. Buying a new pedal, I got one here. It won't make you a better guitar player. It won't make your tone better necessarily, but let's be real, it's fun and it's exciting. And sometimes it's okay to have a little bit of retail therapy. It's okay, provided you've got the money to cover your bills, cover your food, all that kind of thing. If you want to buy something and it makes you feel good and it makes you pick up the guitar and play, fine, do that. You know, I've got one here I'm going to try. I would recommend looking at pedals, things that are affordable, that sort of make you play in a different way. Things like the Pog or the Wah. Recently I tried the Roto Echo, which was really cool. Things that are a bit creative, not just, you know, stomp box. Something that will make you play in a different way. You know, even a vibrato, you might be surprised, a tremolo, sorry. You might be surprised it will make you play in a different way. Those kinds of pedals, they're the kind of pedal that you buy it, you plug it in, you end up with 2 riffs. That's worthwhile. I actually don't even know what this is. I got given this on tour by my friend Chin Hui Chen. It's a new, this isn't a new X video. This is called the Tutti. So I guess it does everything. Let's have a look. So it's a polyphonic pedal. You can set the frequency to focus on just some of the bass strings and then apply the effect only to those. So that's quite cool. It's assignable to different strings via the frequency. Number 10, just to sort of fight against the acquisition of gear and sort of to steel man, the sort of the lone guitar warrior. Actually, a lot of the guitar players that I know have kind of too much gear. I mean, I definitely have too much gear. And there is quite a rewarding feeling in actually shedding some of that unwanted clutter and really focusing on what your tone is, what your guitar statement is. And you honestly, if you just go, okay, these are my 3 guitars, and my chosen tone is an AC30 whacked up with a treble booster. You know, when you start to really focus on what your tone is and you shed the gear that you didn't need, it's quite a nice feeling. Number 11 is really, I wanted to kind of encapsulate this with a phrase, but I can't. What I'm talking about here is this planet is shifting super quick with the advent of AI moving the world of music in a way that we've never really seen before. The landscape is completely different from one month to the next. And I think it's very easy to go glass half empty, oh, it's all over, music's dead, whatever, fine. You can feel that way if you want. I'm a glass is full and overflowing guy, and I think this presents opportunities. And I think you can kind of, rather than the cookie cutter format of you record an album and then you put out singles and then you get a following. No. This is a choose your own adventure lifestyle. You know, maybe you want to put your album out on audio cassettes and only physical. Maybe you want to tour the planet simultaneously in every country digitally. It doesn't matter, but it's your decision. Lots of people self-release. There are all sorts of tools now for you to do that, and it's completely viable as a strong second income, or even just as a really fun thing to do. But choose your own adventure is kind of the spirit that I would give you. I give you authority right now to go ahead and choose how you do music. Okay, number 12. When I was last in Korea, I went to a really cool place called the Musicians Club. And it was a bar, coffee shop, set up by the wife of my friend who runs a guitar factory there. And it was for, you know, drummers, bassists, guitar players to meet, have a drink, have a jam. I thought that was such a cool idea. And musicians really need that. You know, in Brighton, we had that at Brighton Electric. I met so many cool people there. You know, the guy behind the bar was the bassist from Tiger Cub. Just, you know, it's really amazing. And looking back, I really miss that social hub. And if you don't have a place like that where you live, maybe you are the person to create it. Anyone can start a club. Jump on Facebook. Anybody want to meet up for a coffee? If you play an instrument, come and meet me here, as long as you're the right age and you've got a parent or guardian or whatever. But just, let's be social creatures. Phones are great. We can all be phone zombies on the couch in the evenings, but maybe, you know, on a Thursday evening, we can meet somewhere and we can talk about gear and music and make friends and have that vibe and that tribe together. And it would be a different kind of planet for us. Anyway, I hope some of these 12 ways to motivate yourself and move yourself this ending of 2025 have been good. Have an amazing day, the rest of your year, and I'll see you soon. Chappers out.